Do you see any difference between the approach you would take for a high growth company, very high growth company, compared to a mature company that's been in existence for 10, 20 years?
Yeah, Mark. We find there's a radical difference in the approach we need to take there. For a company that's been in existence for a period of time and is perhaps working at a steady state, for them it's about optimization and efficiency, doing things the smartest way they can with the resources that they have, but they don't necessarily need more capacity. They don't need bigger capability. They don't need to be able to consider additional offices and other branches and new business lines. So for those guys, it's a process improvement, continuous improvement, tweaking of the systems, looking for where we can automate small parts of the process, maybe giving better exposure to customers, improving their customer satisfaction. But it's really around retaining the customers they've got and maintaining the business and not making it IT top heavy for the fact that it is going to continue in a steady state. But for a high growth business, by definition, it means their business in 2 years' time is absolutely not going to look almost anything like what it does today. And high growth businesses are usually high growth because they have energetic leadership. They have owners and business teams who are driving forward aggressively, particularly with an outbound and marketing-oriented focus. And what we find, and it's not always the case, but those organisations tend to prioritise that front-end piece over the back-end piece. And so the back-end is lagging behind. It's not keeping up.
It's a classic problem with an entrepreneur, isn't it?
It's an entrepreneurial mindset. That is what growth, by definition is, whether it's happening at the very start-up stage or whether it's happening sort of 5 years into the business where there's a push to move from, say, 5 million to 10 million or 20 million in turnover. So with that back-end lagging, we find that things are in Excel, things are in the system or the software that they were easily able to grab, or that the first vendor that presented a package that they picked up. And it's a source of real sleepless nights for leadership in these organisations because they know that part is weak, but they don't know
how to fix it.
They don't. It's not even that they don't know how to fix it. They don't. It's not the area that they want to put effort into. They want to drive forward and grab that next contract or expand into the next office. But in the heart of hearts, they know that it's going to be a huge issue if the systems don't keep up with the business. So the approach there, Mark, is very much about forecasting and predicting where that business is going to need to be and what's going to need to be supported. You can't put in a system designed for 50 employees into an organisation that wants to be 100 and 200 employees with branches around the country. Yeah. You must lean on technology.
It's sort of it's almost at the cusp of moving away from being technology as an enabler of everything to technology being the driver in some instances, right? In some of the leading technology applications.
There are things you cannot do without technology. Yeah. You cannot scale and expand in business these days with the customer expectations that exist and with what competitors are going to be doing around visibility of supply chain and automation of processes. So there's some really exciting technologies out there, but it becomes a very it's a vision piece, and that's why it's so important to come back to those fundamentals of getting that shared strategic vision right at the outset and having the 3-year strategic plan that you advocate, so that we know the projects that are going to be undertaken by the business, and we know the type of growth that we're expecting to be, and that's where we build the systems towards, so that they are able to scale and meet those future requirements.